Hello and welcome to the video presentation of StatCheck. StatCheck is an application developed by the SEDAR team at INRIA-Saclay to assist journalists in their fact-checking work. It collects social network posts from French politicians and facilitates the verification process by comparing the claims made in Twitter posts, for example, against factual, reliable data from statistical institutes. It is a web application accessible when connected to the INRIA VPN for security reasons. After connecting to the website, the user can create an account by clicking here or logging with an existing account. After logging in, the user can access all of the main functionalities of the application through this homepage. We'll go in detail into each of these, starting with the text analysis. To demonstrate how claims are detected, we will analyze the text file. In this menu, the user can upload a TXT, PDF, docx or ODT file, or type text directly in this field. Once the text is sent, it will be split into sentences. A sentence will be displayed if a statistical entity, such as gas, is found, or if the relevance or checkworthiness of the sentence, indicated here, is high enough and there is a numerical value. This score corresponds to the score given by the XLM Roberta model, and the closest it is to 100%, the more checkworthy the sentence is. For each sentence, the statistical entity in question, as well as important information such as dates, locations, organizations, numerical values, will be highlighted, and a query is built from these entities. This query, that can be seen here, can be used to compare the claim against INSEE and Eurostat data, but we will see that later in the video. Finally, a history of the last 10 uploaded files can be found here, and allows the user to navigate through these files without waiting for the loading time. For example, the text was displayed here immediately, even if the original file is a 24 pages long PDF. In the tweet analysis page, you will see the most recent Twitter posts of several politicians with extra information such as the name of the author of the post, the date of the post, or the link to the original publication. A scraping is done multiple times per hour to retrieve the latest posts. In the drop-down menu here, you can filter posts according to their date or by searching for specific keywords. For example, if we type salary, only posts where the word salary appears will be displayed. The user can also see the list of followed politicians and toggle whether their posts are displayed or not. Finally, a legend summarizes the different entity categories. The Facebook analysis page works like the previous Twitter page, but shows the Facebook posts of French politicians. All of the posts are processed and extractions are computed on the server side, but on the client side, the user can filter what extractions are being displayed in the Configuration tab. The user can select which statistical entity lists are considered when searching for statistical entities, and the last checkbox, Extraction sans entité statistique, can also be toggled to display sentences without statistical entities, but classified as checkworthy by the XLM Roberta model. Additional options allow to filter sentences containing verbs at the future tense or first person, or sentences without numerical values, as these tend to be more subjective and less verifiable. Finally, as the checkworthiness of each sentence is scored by the XLM Roberta model, it is also possible to set a threshold and only display sentences with a score higher than that threshold. To illustrate the impact of the configuration, we can go back to the Twitter analysis page and force sentences to have a statistical entity and to have a numerical value. We can also increase the filter on the relevance score. By combining this with the keyword search, for example by typing dividende, we can now see the most relevant posts on a very specific topic. By clicking on this query, we will now demonstrate the second part of the application, the database search engine. These databases will provide factual evidence to support or deny a claim. To work with trusted sources and provide reliable statistical data, we query the INSEE database, which is the French National Institute of Statistics, and Eurostat, which is the European Union equivalent. Following the query link created from a sentence or entering your own query, you can search these two databases. For example, we can type chômage jeune 2017, and our information retrieval system will retrieve the top 20 candidate datasets related the most to the query. A dataset is a table, HTML or Excel spreadsheet with a title, headers for columns and rows, data cells, and a publication date that can be found here. For each dataset, the user can also see multiple links. In the case of spreadsheet data, a short sentence will let the user know where the spreadsheet is located, that is, which Excel file and which spreadsheet to consider, followed by a link to download the dataset directly. A link to access the original publication page will also be found below to have more context about the dataset. If the dataset retrieved comes from the extraction of HTML files, only this second link will be available. The candidate datasets are listed in order of relevance with regard to the query. Using a relevance score function, each dataset is assigned a score that can be found here. This score reflects the content of the document and the location of the query in the dataset. For example, if terms in the query appear in the title, the score will be higher than if they appear in the headers. As we are searching information within tables, a relevant candidate can be an entire dataset, a row or column, or even specific data cells. On the rightmost column, if such elements are found, the name of the row and column headers most related to the query will be displayed in red and blue respectively. In the case where both are found, the specific value of the data cell will also be returned. If there exist multiple header candidates, a button will allow the user to quickly see all of the headers or data cells found. In the case where no headers or data cells are found, the user should look at the original publication. As we integrated a second source, Eurostat, the user can also choose to search information in one source or the other by clicking here. For Eurostat, we keep the same display than with the INSEE search, but we adapted the download links to the nature of the Eurostat data. The user can still download datasets in their original form, but because the row and column headers are encoded, this can be very hard to read. A typical Eurostat dataset looks like this. For more convenience, we use Eurostat metadata to decode these headers and offer a human-readable version of these tables in the second link, which looks like this. After this short technical presentation, here is a short video from the journalist authors that are actually using the tool.
The Cellule Vrai du Faux is a team of 6 journalists working for the French public news radio France Info. We are specialized in verifying public speech, whether in traditional media or on social networks. Our goal is to help our listeners and web users to better understand the issues of public debates and not be fooled by false claims. In order to do that, we use a lot of statements by politicians. We listen to them, we read them in order to identify statements to check in their speeches. But we cannot listen to everything or read everything, and that is not our goal, since we are above all interested in specific statements that have an editorial interest in being verified. This is for us the first advantage of StatCheck. This is a great monitoring tool that allows us to select personalities who are of particular interest to us, such as members of government or the main opposition figures. Thanks to StatCheck, we can quickly see in the content they publish online claims that could be checked and to easily identify subjects and themes that are of interest to us as a journalist. The other advantage of StatCheck is to be able to quickly identify the existence of sources and data which will then allow us to carry out the verification of the facts. We believe StatCheck cannot replace all the tasks performed by a fact-checker journalist, but it allows us to be much more efficient in our mission.